Hello and welcome to this edition of the Time with Hime podcast. I'm your host, Lynn Cordes, joined by our superintendent, Mr. Hime. It is sweater weather. It's nice outside.
October. Wow.
It is.
I coached football for years, and I can remember having October games when I was bundled up early in the year, and it's still nice weather out there. We're getting some of our best weather of the year. Not a lot of wind. Nice, calm evenings. It's just great porch weather. So
hopefully it'll last a little bit longer. I remember last year we had that October ice or winter weather experience.
You're there. That was like October 16th or something.
It was crazy. Hopefully not, because we have fall break coming up pretty quickly.
Yes, but we got great weekend weather this weekend for football. Everybody go out and watch our football teams. Got a lot of I know we won all 3 games last week easily, so the football teams are doing great. So excited to watch them. We're rolling in the playoffs for softball and volleyball and all of those. So we got a lot of great things going on.
That's right. And let's start off our podcast with the COVID summary so we can get that out of the way and share what's going on in the district.
Great news for our district. And again, one of the factors we'd like to say is when we implemented our mask mandate, we kind of lowered the numbers, but the numbers are going down statewide because, again, as those numbers peaked, people started taking it serious again. Hopefully we can get through Christmas and keep those numbers down. That's kind of going to be the ultimate goal right now. I've had people ask me, are we going to keep the mask mandate? Let's keep on keeping on with the numbers down through Christmas. If we get back from Christmas, get a couple weeks in, and the numbers are still down, we can start having those discussions about let's go back to normal again. But it seems like every time I jump out there and say, man, we're normal, I just have decided I'm not threatening the COVID anymore. So I appreciate all the families and the parents, because one of the things we really need to do is make sure we're staying home when we don't feel well, we're wearing masks, especially if we're on that borderline, keeping kids home when they're sick, washing your hands, just that conscious effort to social distance and not drink after each other and blow on each other and all those things. We're doing a great job. So appreciate it, because it's really a positive that our COVID numbers are down, but that's a shout out to our staff, parents, students, and everybody involved.
And we continue to share our COVID update on the website. So if you're interested, it's under the community tab under COVID summary. And we are preparing, if we do have the ability to do that 3rd booster with our staff, still looking at doing that.
Yes, and it's lawtonps.org.
Yes, sir. Let's talk about some good things that are going on, one of them being Purple Star. Can you share what that looks like?
Yeah, it looks like we are now if people remember last year, we had a big celebration at Freedom on Fort Sill. And we had that because Freedom became the first Purple Star school in the state of Oklahoma, and it was a great day out there. The people out there at Freedom did an awesome job. Well, now they passed legislation making schools, giving schools the ability to become Purple Star schools. Now we are the first Purple Star school district in the state, with 83% of our schools being Purple Star. We feel by Christmas, hopefully we have 100% of our schools, but that's a shout out to our team and all the people working on that. And we're excited because basically that is saying we support our military and their students, and we work to make those adjustments as easy as we can.
And our families can check out the resources again on our website.
Yes.
Let's talk about some more good things that are going on as we drive around and see what's out there. Our maintenance team and grounds team have been doing a phenomenal job, specifically regarding sidewalks.
Yeah, we got some sidewalk upgrades, I know, at MacArthur High School, so to make traffic easy. And at Crosby Park, there was a place where it was not handicap accessible, and it was causing some issues. And our maintenance team jumped in really quick and fixed those. We're continuing. We have that saying, and we talk about it in our leadership team. It's kind of that. We have a lot of properties to maintain, and so sometimes you got to liken it to an elephant, and you just got to take one bite at a time, and our maintenance team is doing a great job. They're moving forward, and we're making upgrades and updates and cleanups and makeovers on a daily basis, and it's really exciting to be a part of that.
Speaking of, this past weekend was Custodial Appreciation Weekend, and we want to give a shout-out to them.
Oh, we got great custodians. That's one of the things I noticed when I got here is how clean the majority of our buildings were on the inside. That's when I started the makeover. I'm thinking, man, we got a lot of pride in the inside. We got to get that pride on the outside of all of our buildings. So our custodians deserve a big shout-out for the hours and the time they work to keep the buildings clean. And then with the pandemic coming through, they've had to work twice as hard because of the extra defogging and sanitization and some of those things they've had to do. So very little complaints from our custodians. They've done a great job, and we appreciate you guys for all the hard work you do.
October brings a lot of new things for us, and one of those is pushing back out some more forms in regards to impact aid. Will you share again what that means for our district and how important receiving those back? Because we're getting ready to share that out to the families.
School districts are funded in various ways in the state of Oklahoma. We got property taxes and all that, and for our state aid, our general purpose is to fund our students. Now, the fact that we have a lot of federal land in our school district where the people don't pay property tax makes that low. Now, the state kind of subsidizes that for us, so we don't get hurt in our general side, but when it comes to building fund and repairs and bonding ability and all that, we just are at the bottom of almost any district in the state in how much each student gets in those funds. Well, the federal government steps up with impact aid, so if we count the number of students who have parents who work on or you live on federal, non-tax land, and the federal government gives us impact aid to kind of offset that, to help us with some of those funding shortfalls created by having federal land in our district. So, but the only way they give it to us is not based upon how much land we have, it's based on the number of students and the paperwork we get done. So it's so important that our parents fill out that paperwork, because that's where our funding comes from. That's true with our child nutrition forms, because we've been trying to get those home to parents and get them filled out, because in the past, parents filled those out so their kids could eat free or their child could eat at a reduced price. Well, we're letting everyone eat free now because of the federal government, but we still need that form filled out because we get state aid and grants, and a lot of funding comes based upon the data those forms give us. So, again, that's another form we need everybody to fill out, and we got home language surveys going out. So there's a lot of that paperwork. We really beg and plead with you, because when we talk about the makeovers and talk about the things we do in the maker spaces and the TAP program, and even here at the LRC, all the things we're trying to do at the local level, for our teachers in our buildings, we have to have funding, and all that paperwork is what drives how much money we get per student.
And the impact aid is only a one-sheet form to fill out.
Yep, just a quick form. The big deal with it is if you got more than one student or more than one child, make sure you put their name on there, put them all on there, list them all, and get that back to us. And we really, how much we appreciate you doing that for us.
Now, remind families about Monday. And, the calendar was a little different this year in that we identified the date as October 11th, but they did it something different.
Well, kind of what happens is, we are an hours school, and that gets a little complicated, but we get 12 hours a year that we get for parent-teacher conferences that count as 2 days. So we have to put a day on the calendar to make it count, but our teachers are doing the hours at night because it's more accessible for parents. Well, that worked so well for us last year that we didn't have any daytime, that we did it again this year, but we had to put it on the calendar. Well, October 11th, which is a federal holiday that we found if we're in school on federal holidays, those are our lowest attendance rates, our lowest educational engagement days. So we started kind of taking some of those as non-school days anyway. So it worked out perfect. It just created a little confusion because we put in there parent-teacher instead of just no school in lieu of parent-teacher. So no, we're not going to be open. You should have already had a parent-teacher conference. It should have already been scheduled. All of our teachers have done that at night.
Or it could be next week. I know we have a few next week on Wednesday.
But all of our teachers have 6 hours. They have a full day of parent-teachers outside of their regular work day that they're going to work to make up for that day. That day is for them. So there will be no students. No one works on that day. Again, and it ties together with it being a federal holiday. So we're, hopefully, pardon the confusion, but we will not have anyone in school on Monday.
And fall break this year is a little different in that we have a full week.
Same deal. People got to understand, when you're in hours or days, you mark the days you go to school. You don't mark the days you're out. So when you start marking the days you go to school, you try to pick the most educational or most engaging days you can. And the other thing research has showed, when you go to school just Monday, Tuesday, or the short weeks, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, those are low engagement, low educational days. They're poor instructional because of attendance and other factors. So if you'll look, we go to all week on Thanksgiving to keep from having the short week, and all week on fall break now. And we've moved those days into other days in the calendar, so they're full weeks, which we've learned are through research are give you higher engagement, better instruction. better attendance.
That's correct. And so if you have any other questions regarding that, you can always email us, and we'll give that at the end of our podcast. But let's do our favorite part of the segment, which is our shout-outs and celebrations. What do you want to share out?
Well, first we have a young lady named Angelica Martinez. She's been selected for a West Point leadership class, so we're excited about that. You might have some
From
more detail.
Eisenhower High School.
Eisenhower High
she's on our
School.
social page, and she's with the student-to-student program for the
Very
military
good.
child.
Very, very exciting for that in there. And then we have
Madison.
Yes.
Moeller.
Moeller.
Yes.
Yeah, I got to get these names. Madison Moeller, who's in FFA, but in vocational agriculture, but at the Ag Fair, she's third in the nation. She's top 3, and I guess they're going to announce the winner on
In October
29th.
29th.
Yes,
at
October
7 p.m.
29th,
And so
7
we'll
p.m.
find out if she is number 1, and we're crossing our fingers
Yes.
because she's doing great things out
Great
there.
things, and we're excited about her and numerous others. And again, those are things that if you hear and things we look for to put on our social pages and to celebrate the great things we're doing at our schools, because we got a lot of great things going on. Great teachers, great staff, very exciting.
And you can always find us on our social media pages. And what's our website, Mr. Hyman?
INFO at
That's our email, right?
LawtonPS.org.
Yes.
Well, we talked about that earlier. LawtonPS.org is the website. If you got questions, comments, or just you need some general information, you can email us at info at LawtonPS.org.
Anything else you want to celebrate before we head out?
Oh, it's just, we're right here in the middle of October.
It feels like it's going to be Christmas in the next few weeks. So there's
Except
a lot.
for it's 95 degrees outside.
Sometimes, but we have inside. It's a little,
Yeah.
feels good. But we're doing great things and excited about what's to come. We have a lot of great celebrations and a lot of makeover projects that we continue to celebrate. Oh, strategic plan.
Oh, yes.
Give the date of when our next
November
community.
4th will be for our community on our strategic plan. I don't know how much we've talked about that, but we've got a strategic plan. We've got a survey out there you can go on. You can find on the website and answer. We want everyone to participate in the survey. We've had some forums with teachers and staff and different opportunities for people in the community. They're going to come back on November 4th, and we're going to try to set up 6, 8, 10 more forums that people can attend, and so give you an opportunity to give your input. This is one of those things for me as a superintendent. It's kind of difficult because I like to be in the middle of everything, but I'm really out of this. This is not the Kevin Hime plan. This is not what I want. I don't even want my influence felt. This is what the people of Lawton want for their students, their community, moving forward the next 5 or 10, 15 years. All the data they get that you share goes to the researchers at Oklahoma University or the K-20 Center, and they'll kind of desegregate that data and create a set of goals in different areas that then we'll have some working groups that go in and try to formulate a plan to make all of that happen.
That's correct. And so if you're looking for any of that information, it is on our homepage on all of our websites across the district. And if they have any questions, they can email us.
Correct.
Yes, Mr. Hime, thank you so much for your
Thank you.
time. I
Have a
appreciate
good
it.
weekend.
Yes.
Remember, it's going to be a 3-day
3-day
weekend.
weekend.
Very exciting. So we're excited about that. So we'll see you next week.
That's right. Be well, stay safe, and make positive impacts. Bye-bye.